We all know that women often fall for bad boys, but why, though? Well, it's not a mistake, and it isn't luck. It's all based on 3 mind tricks. Knowing yourself as a man. If you're unclear about who you are, you'll depend on others to define your worth. And that's a slippery slope that leads to all sorts of heartaches and pain. Like, there's a lot attached to knowing who you are as a man. This is because, although it's not actually something you do, it's something that guides a lot of what you'll do, and more importantly, how people will treat you. For instance, a man who lacks confidence can't take rejection well. It'll always feel like a blow to his ego. The Greek philosopher Aristotle believed self-awareness is the gateway to wisdom. And if you don't know yourself well, you'll let others put a price tag on you, and trust me, you do not want women putting a price tag on you. That's like one way to guarantee that you'll be miserable for a very long time. Also, a man who isn't self-aware would only see a woman's looks without caring about her personality. Why? Because he doesn't even care about his person enough to be self-aware, so how can he do it to others? Robert Greene pointed out how men can be so taken with beauty that they just admire it from afar. And you know this yourself. That urge to always look back when a girl with some nicer act passes you. At that moment, you really don't know if she's toxic or not. You just want to hit, even if it might destroy you. So, what does being self-aware mean for a man? It means closely observing your actions and pulling your life together. In bad boy terms, it simply means not craving validation from people to feel good about yourself. You see, bad boys don't care what anybody says or thinks, and that's something that pulls girls to them. They consciously or unconsciously believe that they're complete just as they are. Once you build a life that you're proud of, you won't look to women to make you manly. You'll know what you bring to the table. And if a woman isn't into you, it simply means that she wasn't the right match. Bad boys are the definition of being confident in your own skin. They don't beg for a woman's interest or her thumbs up. They don't take rejection personally, and that, ironically, is what women find appealing. They're not out there chasing desperation. Also, this "I'm good, so I don't care what you think" mentality enables them to step away from any girl at any moment they feel disrespected. That is something that nice guys just can't do, and it's why they finish last. If you want to command the respect and attention that naturally comes from a self-assured man, you've got to be prepared to take a step back when necessary. Now, listen, stepping back isn't about playing games or being deceptive. It's about looking beneath the surface, seeing who someone truly is, beyond just their looks. Too often, men bust their backs trying to impress a woman who frankly is not worth the energy. They pursue her relentlessly just because she got them looks, even if her personality leaves a lot to be desired. It takes guts to walk away from that, and it sends a clear message. You have standards. If a woman isn't showing you the right level of interest or respect, you owe it to yourself to move on. The beauty of being able to walk away is the change that it brings out in you. Even when you're in a relationship, it empowers you to be upfront with your girl about things that you're not cool with. Now, nice guys typically keep their feelings under wraps to avoid a rock in the boat, worried the girl might leave. And that often leads them to lie, which makes them dishonest and deceptive. But then again, the woman will often pick up on this and often push their boundaries even further. You see, I used to be guilty of this, and it really leaves a bad taste in my mouth just thinking about it. It's like you end up doing bad things like lying while trying to be nice, and still you end up losing her. So yes, when it comes to dealing with women, you need to learn some things from bad boys. Things like don't let a woman's opinion carry too much weight. A lot of dudes exhaust themselves trying to win the approval of every pretty face that they encounter. They obsess over saying the right things and showering her with compliments. But this eagerness to please often backfires, making you look desperate instead. At the root of this is the fact that they don't know who they are. A man who knows himself understands that he doesn't need to perform to be someone, not just to impress a stranger. Be true to yourself and focus on what matters to you. It shows that you value yourself and that you're not going to waste your time trying to charm every beautiful woman in sight. Trying to impress every pretty girl can be so exhausting, and it can come off as silly. If you stay cool and unbothered in the presence of beauty, that is what truly catches attention. So what do you need to stay cool and unbothered when a hot girl shows up? Confidence. Confidence is a game changer. It's why a man acts without the need for approval. And sure, sometimes you'll make a mistake, but you'll have the grace to apologize after. Now, does knowing yourself help you be more confident? Yeah. Another thing that comes from knowing yourself is knowing your passion. You see, People light up when they share their passions. You can see the excitement in their eyes, the energy in their voices, the lively gestures. That kind of genuine excitement is irresistible to women. A man's charm increases tenfold when he's enthusiastic about something he genuinely loves. Now, when a man is confident in himself and his passions, he'll likely become very good at it, thereby making him a man of high status. And do women like men of high status? You bet your bottom dollar they do. You and I know this from experience, and what's more, scientific research has also shown that women are often attracted to men with status and resources. Now, looking at it through the lens of evolutionary psychology, a high-status man could mean a brighter future for her and her offspring. So yes, women are right to want that. So basically, you need to know yourself to see both the good man and the bad boy that you are. That way, you'll respect yourself more, and women will do the same. Master the push and pull. When you find yourself drawn to a woman, it is essential to strike a fine balance. Sure, you want to let her know that you're interested, but you also want to keep the chase exciting. It's that hint of uncertainty that adds a thrilling edge to the whole thing. But how do you do that? Through what can be called the push and pull dynamic. This basically means mixing clear signs of attraction with a playful sense of challenge. For example, make eye contact, glance at her lips, and teasingly say, "I'd love to kiss you right now, but I don't want to draw too much attention." Or playfully suggest, "How about heading to my place? But we have to be proper. You have to promise to keep your hands above my waist." You see, it's all about creating a delicate dance between obvious interest and playful restraint. Maybe you want to take things further, like holding hands or cuddling together. You can try this. Move in for a moment, then take a small step back. And when you're ready, close in again. This 2 steps forward, 1 step back approach keeps things from escalating too quickly. The push and pull is a mind trick that creates a rhythmic dance of showing keen interest and then subtly retreating. It's a blend of warm, engaging conversation followed by a cool, distancing silence. Let's break it down further because that's something that works wonders, but you have to be very careful when using it. Now, the pull aspect bathes the girl in warmth and closeness, making her feel valued and special. On the flip side, the push introduces a dash of doubt and challenge, often driving the person to close a distance and reconnect. It's this interplay of emotions that turns the interaction into a thrilling, unpredictable ride. That's where you want her to be because that's where the magic happens. That's how she gets obsessed. Now, I should say the strategy should never be about deception or playing games. It should be about interjecting a spark of unpredictability and fun into the relationship. Like the push should never be too severe. After all, it's just about showing self-sufficiency and not being constantly available. The pull should be more heartfelt, a true reflection of interest and warmth. As I said earlier, striking the perfect balance is crucial if not everything falls apart. As an example, let's talk about giving compliments. Women love it, but you've got to be careful not to abuse it. Bad boys rarely give compliments, but the women don't mind. Why? Because people, especially women, are programmed to want what they can't have or get. Generally, diamonds don't have as many use cases as coal, but we all know which one holds more value, even though they're both made out of carbon. So, the women don't mind that their bad boy boyfriend doesn't give compliments often, but here's the thing. Whenever he does, they go over the moon. It's like finding a diamond. They just can't believe that they did it. Now, here's the good part of it. Whenever a bad boy gives compliments, you know that it's 100% genuine, and that is what makes it even more special. Psychologically, this plays in the principle of scarcity and the value of reward. When compliments are less frequent, they become more treasured and impactful. If you use the push and pull method through compliments, you can create a scenario where the woman craves more validation from you. That'll heighten her interest and investment in the relationship. Again, the goal is not to breed feelings of worthlessness or insecurity. It is to prevent praises from becoming so common that they lose their value. When you do offer a compliment, make sure it's sincere and specific because that will increase its value. Now, there are a lot of cases and situations that you can apply the push and pull to. If you're in a public space and you think showboating is the answer, you're wrong. It's common for guys to try and outshine the rest to win a girl's full attention. However, if you want to keep her on you and her thoughts on you constantly, knowing when to pull back and when to step forward is crucial. At the basic level, you want to match the pace of your communication to the nature of your connection. If you guys are just starting, it is terrible to flood her DMs with your messages. Worse still, don't fill her inbox with back-to-back messages without getting any responses. If you're not in a daily texting rhythm, do not force it. And don't hurry into planning a first date until you've shared a genuine, significant conversation. Building a bond where she truly is into you takes patience and a subtle display of your strengths. Again, the push and pull. You want to tell her something interesting about yourself today, but not all of it. That way, there's a little bit of anticipation for tomorrow night. Now, here's something to think about. Dr. Nicole Prowse, a specialist in the sensory responses of the brain, once described what we often call the romantic tension sensation. According to her, it's a state of mind in which we're preparing for potential intimacy. That means your body taps into this excitement, harnessing that romantic tension as a motivator to progress further. So, when the brain gets a hint that intimacy might be in the offering, well, it releases dopamine, which leads to happy anticipation. See what I mean? The push and the pull. You want to give, but not too much. Just enough to put her in that state of happy anticipation. So you can spark thoughts of intimacy in her mind during a conversation with questions like, you ever had a wild experience somewhere a bit unexpected? You could also tell a story that touches on an intimate moment, like, once on a late-night drive, my girlfriend started to get a little adventurous with my pant zipper. Don't talk about your previous girlfriends on a first date, though. I think that's pretty obvious. Or the whole, pant zipper thing, unless it's been clearly established that there is chemistry. Be careful, boys. That is more than enough to subtly plant the idea of intimacy with you in her mind for the future. But before you go too deep into the conversation, you can end it nicely by maybe receiving an urgent call or leaving to make an order or whatever. But once you start it and she gets interested, you shouldn't cover the whole topic that night. Save some for later. Be mysterious. A touch of mystery goes such a long way in drawing women in and keeping them obsessed. To craft this mysterious vibe, resist the temptation to bare your entire soul straight away. Embracing being a bit elusive and keeping them guessing is great. It sparks their curiosity. Psychologically, we're all magnetized by the unknown. So when someone doesn't lay out their entire emotional landscape and life story from the get-go, they transform into a thrilling riddle. And trust me, women love to solve human riddles. Maybe it has to do with their maternal instinct. I don't know, but they can't help it from my experience. You see, bad boys are mysterious, and for obvious reasons. They don't follow social conventions, and by taking such a different path in life, who knows where that might lead. This makes them so adventurous, and who wouldn't want to go on an adventure? Most people like adventures of some variety. Also, the bad boy character enchants girls because it implies danger and possible survival against the odds. Now, just think how intriguing that is. Heck, even we men like to read about bad boys in novels and so on. It's the mystery. Will we die, or will we survive against all odds? It's that classic Bonnie and Clyde story. And yes, women really like that story. You see, incorporating a sense of this mystery into your presence isn't about dishonesty or unnecessary secrecy. It's more about skillfully pacing the reveal of your life stories and qualities. Let her uncover the multiple facets of your persona one at a time, each one leading her to want more. But hold on a minute, your life is probably boring, so how can you make it sound mysterious without lying? Well, the question you should be asking is, why that life be boring? What could you be doing differently? Are you the cause? Life can't be boring when you're taking on challenges that come your way. So, is it that challenges don't come your way, or you're not taking them on, or you're hiding from them? Well, I think we both know the answer to that. What you need is to build yourself up so that you can become confident in your ability to face life's challenges. The ability to stand up for yourself when a situation calls for it, and it surely will. There's no doubt that while you're chasing your dreams, you will face many troubles. Well, once you're facing troubles on the way to your dreams, you're on an adventure, and then your life cannot be boring. Now, women like the mysterious adventure that we've been talking about, but they often can't go on that adventure on their own. Hence, they want a man, a bad boy who's also down for the adventure. Now, such a man provides not only the adventure, but he's also a bit of a protector. Financially, physically, and so on, depending on the situation. Obviously, it's 2024. Not quite the same. But if you just think about that long enough, you'll understand why some girls can barely live when they're broken up with their men. It's the end of a great adventure and the beginning of a less interesting adventure. Plus, they're without protection. And some of them care about that. You should understand that being mysterious does not mean that you should complicate your life. I'm not asking you to study as an astrophysicist at MIT and then become like a Viking sailing the seas. No. Of course, toxic women don't mind something like that, but they shouldn't be your target in the first place. What I'm saying is, you need to have something about you that makes her feel like she doesn't know you that well. A new hobby, a guilty pleasure, a secret talent, whatever. Now, the focus shouldn't be on finding or learning something that will excite her. It should be learning and doing something that excites you. The right woman will find it exciting. Never shape yourself for the interest of others. Shape yourself for you. Finally, another thing that adds a bit of mystery to a man is a little concept called pre-selection. This concept implies that a woman might find you more appealing if she sees you with another woman. Indeed, the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology noted that women deemed men more attractive if they were already in a relationship rather than being single. Being in the company of women can suggest that you possess desirable traits, making you a pre-selected catch. Then she wants to know what's so special about you. Plus, snatching you from the other girl becomes her battle. Another little adventure. But what do you do when you can't get girls to flock around you? Well, you can frequent bars with your female friends, and if your social circle is light on female friends, well then you need to practice forming friendships with girls. So that's it, guys. 3 mind tricks that bad boys use that work every time. If you can get them right, trust me, you can't go wrong. Also, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. We'd love to help. Also, you can learn more in the next video. Also, goodbye.